Randy, we good? Thank you, sir. Before I go anywhere, Randy Parsons, Jeff Carkle run this place. Thank you very much, Randy, Jeff. Give them a hand. They do a great job. I feel awful. This usually is our day for having this meeting. Unfortunately, this school year's done, and we're having to have this meeting after school. So thank you for being here in attendance. Thank you for those of you that are going to watch live online or on demand. Man, YouTube is an awesome thing. So thank you all for being here, watching on YouTube. Welcome to our new students. Welcome back to our returning students to the AC Band family. I often refer to our Cougar Band as the band family because we're just that. We're a large, tight-knit group of dysfunctional individuals, but we always give 100% and we always perform at our best in our school events and community events and with pride and with school spirit. So it's going to be a great year. Very much looking forward to it. Mrs. Jennifer Weddington is down front. Put a face with the name if you don't know her. I am Mr. Watkins, Patrick Watkins. We are both band directors here at Alexander Central High School. And we represent Mr. Jacob Lale, who I just spoke to earlier. I gave him a pass this evening to go see his family. He's our new principal here at Alexander Central High School. Our assistant principals, Ashley Mayo, Tyler Tomlin, and yet to be determined is our third assistant principal. We'll know soon who will fill that position. So we have a lot of information to cover this evening, and I'm glad it's being recorded. Please feel free to go back and watch, ask lots of questions towards the end, and hopefully we can clear all the little details up tonight, and you know what we are looking forward to as we move into next school year. The most important bit of information is our website, and Randy is going to walk you through on how to find it. It's a little bit hidden. So this is our Alexander Central High School webpage. You can Google that, and it'll take you right there. That's the first option. So Randy, if you'll go to Departments, and you can see where he is. He's just going to click there, and right there in alphabetical order, band is there. So you have to kind of go a couple clicks and you get here. They won't let me host it here, so you have to click our logo. And once you click that logo, you can bookmark this page. This is the one we want you to go to often and refer back to it weekly. There's a lot of information here. We made it look pretty. Yeah, go ahead and scroll down, Randy. There's a great picture. This is last year pulling out the big flag for our military appreciation show. It's a good moment. A lot of cameras out, you can see, but the important stuff you'll need to, please feel free to peruse on your own. The important items are the top tabs. You've got home, band directors, some media, band boosters, we'll come back to that one. Needs and wish list, if you just happen to be sitting on a couple $1,000s you don't need, that's what we're going to be buying next. But our boosters and our schools do a great job of helping me get through that list. Our last two tabs there on the right, calendar and announcements, those are the two big ones. So if you can bookmark this page and refer back to it, the calendar is what we're going to go to next, Mr. Parsons. This gives you all of the dates for the next school year. Now, subject to change for different circumstances. You can see we've already got tonight's meetings on there, drumline sectionals hosted by Stephen McCall, our percussion captain, along with Jackson Puckett, our other percussion captain. Coming up this month of June and July. Mr. Parsons, would you skip ahead till July for us? You can see we've got some leadership days and then percussion and freshman band camp, followed by our full band camp. We've got to get started really quickly and a lot to get to. We have 2 football games before the start of school. And it's not an ideal position to be in, but we can be ready for those 2 games. One is at Hickory High School. The other is at home versus North Gaston. We'll be ready for those if I can get everybody at band camp ready to go, and let's waste no time. So we're going to go now, Mr. Parsons, to the announcements page, which is the far right tab. Thank you, sir. This is the one I'll update often. I try to update it on Sunday evenings as I find some times away from my wife and the boys. But I try to give you all the details in this announcement page. We're going to start and we're going to go down this list this evening. So one of the important things I need from all students and parents, family, is the travel consent and medical form. If you click that link right there, Mr. Parsons is going to click it for you. It's actually what's sitting up here on the front of the stage. It's there online. You can print it. If you're watching at home, you're welcome to click that link and print this for yourself. I need this before I have your student on campus, and definitely before I take your student off of campus. Just some basic information, medical reasons. Heaven forbid something were to happen. If it did, I have your instructions on any allergies, any medical things that we need to know. So that is a big one for us. We take your students' health and safety as our top priority here at Alexander Central. So that's what we're going to need before any student comes to a camp. Say your student's a freshman and is going to come day one of freshman band camp. That is July. It's on the calendar. That last week in July. I need that on that Monday that they show up. I can look past maybe it comes Monday afternoon, but we really need that information before we have your students on campus for an extended period of time. Let's see. Our band gear store, it's going to be the next tab there. It is open right now, and I think when Randy clicks that, it'll take you directly to the website. There is a passcode that you have to put in, and I've given you that passcode in our announcements page. This is the band gear. Now you can see an important note here. It's going to end, this store closes automatically in 17 days. On June 19th at the stroke of midnight, this thing is done. We do that because it will now place the order on June 20th that morning, that Monday morning, and our order will be here before band camp. And I've been rest assured, those of you that placed an order back, it would have been that November, December last year, 2021, we had some problems getting that order in. That was because of the supply chain that has now been remedied. I was assured by the owners of Cook's that puts this on that we will get our gear in its entire order. So recommended by director are the required items. This is our uniform for next year's marching band season. Do note that we have a ladies medalist jacket, a youth medalist jacket. Now, there's just different cuts for these. There's a ladies pant and then just a regular pants. So if ladies, obviously, if you want to choose that different cut for you, please do so. And then the other option, it says youth sizes, but when you go to click on that option, all the sizes will appear for you to see. So you will need a shirt. You'll need athletic shorts. That's what we're going to call our hot gear. Most of our performances in the fall, Mr. Jake Lale, I told you to go home. Everybody, Mr. Jake Lale, our new principal at Alexander Central High School. I'm going to embarrass him real quick. You want to come say anything? Why don't you just go home? You can do it from there. It closes on, June 19th? Yeah. So you get it quick. Yes, sir, you'll get it. And those of you watching at home, Mr. Lale said bad things about me. So our hot gear, most of our performances in the fall, even into the early fall into mid-fall, it's still hot in September and October. Our hot gear uniform is going to be shorts and a t-shirt. Hopefully that will help us feel more comfortable as we play. And then our cold gear uniform will be the t-shirt with jacket on top and then the pants. Tennis shoes as you see fit. I've got these nice Under Armour blue shoes that have lasted me about 3 years now. I don't care if they're black or yellow or pink. The color does not matter. We're going to have strength in numbers next year. Nobody's going to be looking at our feet. They're going to be listening to what we sound like. So recommended by director are the required items. I calculated that. That's $90 for your uniform that you get to keep. Hopefully, you get to keep it for many years. Hopefully, it lasts you more than just 1 year, but this will be what we go with for now and into the extended future. If you scroll down, Mr. Parsons, there's some optional items there, just the gear, different kind of t-shirts, sweatshirts. I did have them put in a hat. Our students really wanted hats. And this is a big deal for cooks. They've got to get a certain number to satisfy that order to make it worthwhile. So this will be the only order in the foreseeable future that you'll have a hat. I think it's at the very bottom. Yeah. Really cool hats. I had some of the kids look at it that last week of school, and they really liked that style of hat. The bag, I have that bag. It's a really nice one. The pull string bag works really well too. So you're welcome to get this. This is not just for students, by the way. Parents, grandparents, family, lost aunts or uncles that live in Hawaii, send them some band gear. We'd love to see our logo out there in the community and worn by everybody. But this will be a requirement for students. I'm going to move on. If you have any questions, please save them, and we'll get to that question here at the end. All right. Night Beat is the next item on our announcements page. This is an optional, and Mr. Lell and I haven't talked about this yet, but this is going to be an optional. I'm kind of seeing a head count. If anybody would be interested in taking a trip, it's at Wake Forest University on Sunday, July 31st. This is the day before our full band camp. That's going to make Monday morning very slow for most of us. It's a great option for those of us that just want to go and hear some really good, now they don't call them bands, it's a drum corps. It's all brass and percussion, but if you've ever seen one, man, they really play so well. They a group of students that range from 18 to 23, I believe. They travel the country in performance, and they stop in at states. We have one close to us called Carolina Crown. They're awesome. They're fabulous. And this is a really good show. I used to go to it a lot pre-COVID, but we're going to try to go to this. If you're interested in going on this optional trip, school-sponsored if we can make it, please fill out that Google form, okay? I've already talked to several students that would like for us to make that a trip, and we're going to try, and I'll speak with Mr. Lell about that when we're done here. All right, this is the big one, freshman band camp, and I would assume most of you here represent a freshman student for next year. Welcome, we're very excited. We are asking you to do 2 weeks of band camp. It's going to be nice and easy. That first day, we're going to make sure you have what you need. We're going to make sure you have either your instrument or a school-owned instrument. You're going to get a lyre, which is the device that holds your music to your instrument. All of this will be provided for you by the school and the band boosters. And there's some things you're going to have to bring. You can see the required list. I will not read it to you. You're fully capable of seeing it. It seems a little silly, but yeah, wear sunscreen. Where's Stephen? Yeah, wear sunscreen. And then so you need to communicate with me. Students, this is where you advocate for yourself. Your parents can do this. They've done this for you your whole life up to this point, but you need to advocate for yourself. Mr. Watkins, Miss Weddington, I do not have an instrument. I played one of Miss Watson's instrument at East or Mr. Cochran's instrument at West. I need a school-owned instrument. I need to get that information right now. Okay, so students, you can, later on you'll see you can see the contact information. That's my office number, 828-635-3405, and my email address. Now's the time where I need to know. You play sousaphone. I just bought 3, and I just saw, I see a couple young ladies that are going to play that sousaphone. You play baritone, and you need one for marching band. Those are some things you need to communicate with me, okay? So advocate for yourself in that regard. Freshman band camp will run like a school day, and so will the full band camp. We'll start at 8 o'clock in the morning, drop off at our varsity gym. So this is the top of the hill here at the auditorium. You'll just drop off at our car line, and we'll have our student leadership out there to meet and greet, show everybody how to get down to the band room if you've never been. I'm sure most of us have been there a couple times. And then we'll get started. It's a full week of getting everybody acclimated how to play and walk at the same time. Sounds easy. isn't quite easily done, though. So we're going to take our time, and then by the end of that week, you'll be ready for the upperclassmen to join you. The sophomores, juniors, and seniors will join you for that next week of band camp. I should say percussionists are required to attend those 2 weeks as well. So if you're a percussion student and a sophomore, you'll still attend those 2 weeks of band camp. So our full band camp, if Mr. Parsons will, I do need to mention other things to consider. You are at school, students, so I will hold you to school dress code. And Mr. Lell will back me on that one. School breakfast and lunch can be provided, but again, you need to tell me those things. Mr. Watkins, I would like to eat a school breakfast or lunch at band camp, and I will make the necessary arrangements so that you have food here, okay? We will not let you go hungry. Full band camp runs just like freshman and percussion camp. 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think if you click on the calendar events, it will go into descriptions. I think it says 3:30 on that, but it's going to stop at 3 o'clock. And obviously, there's some rides to consider. I can't get my student there at 8 o'clock, but I can at 8:30. Or I can't quite pick up my student at 3 o'clock, but I can pick them up at 4. We will work with you. I see some folks in the audience right now. We have worked with you in the past. We will continue to work with you. We won't leave your child stranded here at school, okay? You have our word on that. And again, you'll need the same kind of things. It will be hot. Students, it would be in your best interest to get outside often this summer. Do not sit on the couch in the air conditioning all summer and then come to band camp and go, oh, wow, this is what outside feels like in the summertime. Yeah, it's different. And if your body's not accustomed to being out there and sweating, you're going to feel allergic to the sun, so to speak. So you need to get outside some, walk around the neighborhood, walk around the yard, maybe even mow the yard for mom and dad, whatever you need to do to get used to that heat. We have to deal with that heat for quite a while through the month of July, August, and into September, and sometimes into October. We do provide reeds and lyres and flip folders. We'll get into how we provide those here in just a little bit. And then, of course, school dress code applies. You're at school. Anywhere I take you, you're still at school. So those school rules and dress code policies and procedures do still apply. And then we will provide breakfast and lunch for that second week of camp as well. All right, and then we're going to do a Friday performance a week out of our second band camp. This is going to be on August 12th here at the high school. Our football team's going to go to Wilk Central to play a scrimmage. We're going to occupy the stadium while they're gone, and we're going to put on a performance. What we learned at band camp and what we will play for our first 2 football games right there for the parents and family and friends. I'm going to work it out with Miss Austin. Maybe let's provide a meal for everybody, just a good social time, and let's show you what your students can really do when we put a lot of hard work and effort towards one goal or several goals. So that will be on Friday, August 12th, and details will come out about that as Mr. Lale and I are able to work through some of those. So the 2 football games that I've mentioned already, one on August 19th at Hickory High School. I have got to have that travel consent form. I am not allowed to take your student off this campus without that form, and nor will I. I will not bend that rule because that would get me in trouble. So there's forms up here at the front. If you need one, I'll send it to you. I'll walk it to your house. You can print them online if you're watching on YouTube and bring it in. It would be wise, and I will hold this to students. I'll hold this to you. You will have this when you see me the first time at band camp, whether it's that Monday of the freshman percussion camp or it's the Monday of the full band camp. And then we will go, we'll play a home game versus North Gaston here on August 26th. And then finally, the next Monday, we'll have school. School starting would make things much easier. I'm going to stop there. Were there any questions, parents, students, anybody, about the band camp, gear store, everything that I just talked about? This is a good stopping point, kind of a halfway through our information. Stephen McCall. We will. And so Stephen McCall's question for those of you watching on YouTube was the band fee it's going to be in the class syllabus. So we'll go over that in just a moment. No hands up, so I'm going to keep going. So you can see fall band class syllabus. We actually have to go to the next page, Mr. Parsons. And if you'll click that class syllabus, the band fee is inside of this. This is what runs our class. Now there is a percussion ensemble, which is new this year. We've pulled out all the percussionists and we stuck them in one group so that we have a lot of sound coming out of the band room hour and a half time in the day. And then we'll have a winds class, which everybody else, all the freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors that play a wind instrument, clarinet, flute, trombone, sousaphone, they'll be in a separate class. It still applies. The same syllabus will still apply. I'm going to let you read that on your own. If you'll scroll, Mr. Parsons, right there is the required band fee, $60 for the entire year. I will stop now to tell everybody here and at home, if you have a financial hardship, you are to speak to me privately. You are to speak to Mrs. Weddington privately. We will never let any student not have that experience because of financial hardship. Now, I might have some questions. Why does that student have an iPhone, the nice iPhone, even nicer than the one I have, but maybe $60 is too much for a band fee? Okay, I might ask some hard questions, but if money is an issue, it will never be for band. We have an amazing band booster organization led by Andrea Austin, and we have an awesome administration here at the high school and our county administration with Dr. Hefner as our superintendent. We have the means to make sure every student has what they need to participate in this activity, okay? So if that's you, please come talk to me privately. But our band fee will be $60. You saw earlier, we provide the reeds and the lyres, and there's about 100 flip folder pages they have to have in the flip folder, and all the school-owned instruments. All of that is provided through help, partly is through the band fee. When trumpet players come up and they're playing the same mouthpiece they started on in 6th grade, I say, give me that one. Here's a brand new one that's going to make you sound better because you're in year 4 of playing trumpet or trombone or whatever instrument. Every single student will benefit, and that's kind of their investment back into the band. You can scroll through that, Mr. Parsons. We do have an attendance policy that we will hold each student accountable for. There's our grading policy, which has worked great over the past. We hold every student accountable in performing in an ensemble. We call it ensembles. It's when students perform all together and when students perform on their own. Individual growth is key to us playing as an ensemble together very well. Some things that we can see, some things that we can't. Most of these are common sense things, but we've put them in writing for you to read. Every student will get this on day 1 of school. So it's on our website now for you to peruse through, but it'll also go to the students day 1 of school. Mr. Parsons, if you'll scroll down. Students that questioned Mrs. Weddington and I back in, a week ago, there's how you exempt our exam, right there. You wouldn't believe that, Mr. Earlell. Students questioned it, and it actually referenced the page that's in the student handbook too. And then we have a couple sayings, stay positive, work hard, make it happen. Things that just keep driving us, especially on the days when it's hot and we're tired and we're cranky and we're really dysfunctional family that day, keeps pushing us to meet our goals and to perform well for our community and our school. So let's go back to the announcements page. Thank you, sir. That was the syllabus. I just wanted to throw up our information. If you couldn't find it anywhere else, there's the band office phone number, Mrs. Weddington and I's email addresses. And then if you are on the Remind service for band texts, I text the upperclassmen about this meeting just a few days ago. That will go away. And we're going to replace that with this year's Remind. So if you were previously on Remind, or if you're a freshman and you don't know what we're talking about, the Remind is just a text service where I can text one time and it go to 100,000 people at once, and I can remind you of things like, don't forget, we have a football game today. You need to come dressed or come prepared to be dressed in uniform at the end of the day. Band Boosters does a great job of feeding you every time we get together for a performance. Different things, if it's something important we need to send out to the students, we usually use Remind. It's a very quick way of getting messages out. So yeah, and it's actually going to be proof to see who came to the required meeting. If you're at home, you better do this too. Let me scroll down my notes here. I did mention loaner instruments briefly, but let me just say that again. If you're in need of a school-owned instrument, contact me. Contact Mrs. Weddington, call the office, call the school, do something so that we know we will have an instrument for you. We have plenty. We actually prepared. I did a little head counting while you were in 8th grade band, and I noticed we didn't have enough sousaphones, so we bought 3 sousaphones. We're updating our percussion now to absorb the large number of percussionists that we're going to handle. So we'll be ready to go. I just need to know, who are you? And if you want one over the summer, that's definitely a possibility. Meet me here at school, and we will put that instrument in your vehicle, and you can practice over the summer. Past that, let's stop one more time for questions. I do not want to waste your time this evening. I do want to go over Band Boosters. Mr. Parsons, our website, please. The Band Boosters tab. We are led by our Band Booster Executive Board. Those people are as follows. Our Andrea Austin, she represents the board as the president. Heather Edwards is our vice president. Kirsten Hogan is our secretary this year. Lisa Barkley is our treasurer. And then Michelle Robinson, our publicity person, and then Donna Reed is our fundraising ways and means. So those 6 individuals represent you. Everybody that has an interest in band is automatically on the Band Boosters. There is no fee. There are no dues. We do not ask anything of you extra more than what you're willing to give. Your time, your money, anything that you're willing to help us with, we will be gracious and accept those kind offerings. But this is where our Band Booster page lives on our website. We recently realized we could get free money from Amazon. All you do is click that support ACHS band parents, and because we are a nonprofit, Amazon will pay us for your orders. It's really easy. And when I first started this, I thought, well, they'll probably just limit how many items that they'll support. Everything I've bought from Amazon in the last week, which is about 30 things, has been supported by Amazon Smile. So it's a great way for us to make money, and you get what you normally get on Amazon, and we get a cut from their profits there. If you'll scroll down, Mr. Parsons, we asked everybody, fill out this Band Boosters volunteer information form. We will not share your information with anyone, but in those moments where we're on a trip or we're planning a trip and we find a need, we need a chaperone. Somebody got sick, or we just need extra volunteers. If you have filled this form out, we will go to that form and we will start making phone calls. We being the Band Boosters, or myself or Mrs. Weddington. It's awesome to be around. My mom and dad were always around to watch us go through band, my sister and I, and it was nice to have my parents there, and it was nice for them to volunteer their time. So if you can give us your time, please, we would appreciate it. If you can give us any funding at some point, we would appreciate that too. We would just appreciate your support in any way you see that you can give. Past that, Mr. Parsons, we are transparent with our Band Boosters. I'm working Mr. Parsons to death back there. This is our balance and accounting information from this past year. So here at Alexander Central, and especially the band and the Band Boosters, we want to be as transparent as anybody would want to be. I want you to know what we're spending money on. It cost us, total for football costs $256.31. The meals for the game, and that's plus $1,000, so that's $4,301 just to feed the students in the fall. We had a $1,000 donation from a single family that adds to that $3,000 number. So you can see where our money goes and where it comes from as well. We're very lucky. We have some really good fundraisers. Donna Reed represents that department in the Band Boosters, and she's got some really creative ideas. I promise I will not fundraiser you to death. We'll do enough to get by, but we're not trying to make $1 million. I'm just trying to cover the costs that it does take to run a group like this. And then you can see the bottom line if you scroll all the way down, Mr. Parsons. That number, you have to get inside the document and scroll. There you go. That bottom line number, it's that $16,852.79. It's not accurate because we have spent and earned some money since then, but we're hovering right about there for the summer, which puts us in really good shape starting next school year. So there ends the information I needed you here and you at home to know. Are there any questions from those of you that are here? If you think of something and it's later, give me a call. You can find my cell phone number out there. Ask that you use it wisely, students especially. Mr. Millsaps is a very nice guy, but he's not so nice when he's Officer Millsaps. Please give me a call. I do not want questions to be lingering out there for anybody. If I can answer them, if I don't have an answer, I'll find one, okay? It's going to be an amazing experience. We had a really good time last year. We quickly forgot last year that we entered the school year in COVID protocols. We were standing in the back of the end zone at most away football stadiums. We're standing on our hill here in our stadium, 6 feet apart to play, masks on the buses. And our former principal, Mr. Gordon Palmer, said, whatever you need to do, however you can do it safely, let's get these kids playing. And we had successes last year where some schools are struggling to find those successes. And so we're very thankful for supportive administration here, supportive parents, supportive students. We all kind of powered through those COVID days, and hopefully that's all behind us. And moving forward, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get, the experience is going to be more special, and with our growing program is going to come growing quality and growing support, and I can't wait to see this program, especially with your students in it. So, questions? No? How quickly did I do that, Robinson? I saw you looking at your watch. 30 minutes, right? All right, well, yes, question. I'm so sorry. Great question, and I'm going to repeat that for the people watching on YouTube. So will the band students be allowed back in the stands this year? That's a question mark still at home. I like having them pulled away on the hill. I don't like them standing on a hill. So there's some questions I have to a couple folks. Mr. Lale's one of them. Chris Campbell, who's our maintenance department head here in our county, he's another one. I like the location of the hill, but I don't like putting students on a hill. You all have seen like those goats that stand on the side of the hill. That's what we looked like last year. We're going to see if we can get that fixed before this football season. So that's a question mark at home. On the away games, when we go to another stadium, we will be in the stands, for sure. And if you feel strongly about anything like that, let's have a conversation. Any other questions? All right, Michelle Robinson, 31 minutes. How about that? I'll hang around if you got questions. Please take a form. You can go ahead and fill it out. Give it to me today. Send it in the mail. Make sure I have it before they come for their first day of band camp. I'm very much looking forward to it. I can speak for Mrs. Weddington as well. We're going to have some fun this year. Thank you.